had to come over to Realtree's office for a meeting today, just talking about some different things we're working on together, and we're headed to the farm just to check out some stuff and see what's going on here. And I'm noticing right here that last time we were here they were planting this, or last time we were here we were on the other side, but really good stand to Harvest Advantage and planting a Forger Plus right here that you'll be able to see on camera. But they've got a border placed here too that looks really good that they're using. That it's about beat down now, but it's later in the year, so just a pretty plot here though.
We are putting out a new mineral site today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what this product does for the deer and why we're putting it here?
We're out riding around today just that time of year when they're doing more stuff. Just for this time of year, mineral's one of them. You know, it's almost March. Some sites are in, some are not. You know, we checked the site a minute ago on the other side of the farm that the deer are hitting already, but I'm assuming y'all are by this water because of the, I mean, is that why y'all chose this spot?
Absolutely,
because of water?
No doubt.
So that being a real mineral and not just a bag of salt. Of course, it has salt in it, but that being a real mineral, I can see where a lot of people do that, and I think it's a great idea. I mean, normally when these things get some dilution of moisture in them, they start hitting them better sooner. I don't ever dump water on them, but some people do. I just don't, just for no reason, but some guys do that. But that depression definitely is a great idea. This ground's good, moisture holding ground and stuff like that. You know, typically if you're feeding a lot of feed with the high vitamin and mineral content, they'll slow down on mineral, but we still get guys to put them out because you're gonna have deer that just won't come to a feeder just like any farm, you know, so this gives them some added benefit. Yeah, I love this spot, it's neat.
Yeah, it's a good little spot, and you know, a lot of people relate the mineral to the mass of a deer's rack, and like that first deer I killed this year that had so much mass throughout it. It's just unbelievable as far as what this product can do for your deer herd, and mixing this mineral along with y'all's protein feed, which a lot of y'all's protein feed, just all this together works to really make a healthy herd. And we saw that a lot. We've been doing this for about 2 years, I guess, and we've really seen the results and the health of the deer. And as far as the mass, I've never seen mass like that first deer I killed this year. It's even hard to tell on video or camera. You almost got to put it in your hands. The mass was just unreal, and with y'all's system of all this together and clicking, it's just really made a good recipe for deer health all the way around. It's just, this was probably my best season in Georgia ever this year, as far as deer. And I mean, we're just growing really healthy deer, and a healthy deer is going to grow a healthy rack. So these minerals, the protein, everything to boot, just it like I say, it's a great recipe.
It is. I mean, you know, one thing that we tell customers when we're talking to them when they're trying to decide what kind of program they're going with or what products they're going with is, to my knowledge, I don't ever see a guy that's feeding right ever stop. Like, I just don't ever see a guy go, you know, this just ain't working out. They just always stay with it. Now I got guys that feed a little bit and stop and things like that. I can see those guys quitting because they're not going to see the results like you would want to. Like your doctor might tell you to take a multivitamin every day, but if you can only take one twice a week, do you do it? Does it help? Who knows?
You got to do it year round to see the results from it. It's the main objective.
Yeah, if you're dedicated, you normally get the kind of results that you're looking for.
Absolutely. It's definitely a good product that it really makes the deer healthy. I know, and this is kind of funny, I guess you would say, but I looked forward all summer to the first deer I was going to kill during the fall to see how many ticks were on it from that protein.
Cool.
You know, I mean, and it was amazing at how much it did help. So all this stuff just makes really healthy deer, and like you said before, it's a year-round process. It's not just time to time, and we do the minerals this time of the year, we feed the protein year-round, but like he was talking earlier, make sure you find the right site for the minerals and the right applications for all this stuff to make it work as best. I
mean, I love this site with the moisture just because, I mean, it's just true, sometimes with a real mineral, they're not going to hit every site. I mean, sometimes they're just not. We don't know if it's natural mineral deposits in the ground or what, but typically if you put out 10 sites, they're only going to hit 6 or 7. So we get guys that take half a bag and do all the sites, and then the ones they smash for whatever reason, you know, make that your mineral sites, and the other ones just abandon them.
Just add to what's working and discard the rest.
And that kind of sucks if you had some spots that you paid a little money for the mineral, you put it out and it didn't hit it, but it's just part of playing. I mean, it's just part of it, you know. It's just the way it is, and it being a real mineral, like I said, not just salt. It's just kind of the cost of doing it right, you know.
Absolutely.
But, well, you got some more sites we're gonna do?
Yes.
How far is the firehouse where you?
From here,
Or from where you live?
from where I live, it's not but about 2 miles.
I got you.
But from here, it takes me about 25, 30 minutes to get here. It's not a bad drive at all. It's all country roads, pretty scenery. So, and it takes me about 20 minutes maybe to get to Rocky Branch in our side of the farm. Coming through this burn right here, and it's a lot of times people overlook it and don't see the beneficial side of it, but it's great for your turkey and your deer as far as getting that new growth coming up. And actually the ash in the ground helps the soil content out so much. So
Yeah.
it works really, really well for the habitat of all sorts of animals.
Yeah, it's pretty. I agree, man. We have a lot of people that don't get on it.
Yep.
Just like they don't get on feeding year round, or they don't get on planting perennials,
Right.
Or culling does. You know, we see a lot of guys that we deal with that they got a number they're trying to reach, but they don't reach it. And then when you do stuff like you leave burning out of the equation, or leave feeding out of the equation, or whatever it is, it all those minor things turn into a major problem. You know?
Exactly. And it's almost like puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
You know, and to get the complete picture of the puzzle, you got to have every little aspect put in there.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work, you know, to get to where you want to go, and it's nothing that's going to happen overnight. I know a lot of people get frustrated because they go half a year of putting protein out, and they don't have 180-inch deer on their farm.
I think you're gonna pour a booner out of a bag.
Exactly, exactly. And they don't realize it takes years to get this stuff going and get your property burned, get your protein started, get your mineral sites out, and it's a hard process, but it makes it so worth it at the end of it all. I mean, once you start reaping the benefits of everything you've done, there's no better feeling. So
I agree. I'm seeing more and more guys that start out as deer hunters and end up being deer growers. Like they enjoy the feeding and the burning and the planting. Yeah. You know, they love all that as much as hunting. We've got a guy that's got several thousand acres and he hardly ever goes, but he's got a couple hundred acres of food plots, and
that's right.
He loves growing them.
That's right.
And does an incredible job.
Sometimes the pre-season's the funnest part of it, the getting to the, you know, points you want to getting everything ready, getting your tree stands hung, you know, watching your cameras, all that kind of stuff to me is just as much fun as actually harvesting an animal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to see the hard work you've put in come and evolve.
Look at the long beard right there too.
Yep, there's 2, 3, 4. Sure is. I guarantee you they're heading right up there to that burn.
Yep. Man, that first one had a rope on him.
Yeah, there's 2 right there. There's 1, 2, 3 lagging behind right here.
Man, you see that very first one to the left?
I'm telling you.
Swinging.
All right, let's put this last bag in the feeder.
Yep.
Basically, this right here is the 20% bag, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay, now what's the benefits and when do you recommend swapping over?
So normally everybody does the 20% from basically antler drop on, you know, into a hard horn, to a hard antler. So all your antler growing months, and then they'll use winter stabilizers, which is our winter feed for all the hunting months, basically, or all the hard horn months. So normally January to September is what we tell people.
Okay.
But like we were talking about earlier, you got different people shedding at all different times now, and things like that. But I mean, that's just a rule of thumb, January, September. But guys have their own areas inside of that they move around with and play with it. You know, some guys will start 20%. I mean, since it's got probiotics and prebiotics and elevated bypass protein and all kind of things like that, they'll start a couple of weeks before they assume they're going to shed, so they can replenish the skeletal system with all the good stuff. Some guys will wait till they actually start dropping. Some guys will wait, you know, a month after. I like to start a little bit early, but depending on how your deer are acting, the winter stabilizer's got a lot more carbs, so they might stay on that a little bit longer since it's cold weather.
Right.
I mean, it's got a good vitamin and mineral pack, but it's not like the 20%.
Is there a price difference between the two?
Yeah, it's about $3 a bag normally.
Okay.
The winter stabilizer's a little cheaper than the.
So you'll save some money during
Yeah,
during the
it's
winter
just a maintenance feed. I mean, it's a very important feed a very important feed to use, and we've got a lot of our giant landowner guys and fences that have declared that they've grown some of their best deer when they started using stabilizer in conjunction with 20%.
Okay.
And their thought, in theory, is that their deer are getting all run down during the rut, so they just come out of the rut looking horrible.
Yeah.
If they're feeding winter stabilizer right, they come out of the rut looking like a beast. So
right.
Instead of putting all their recovery effort into body recovery and then antler growth, they just put it all in antler growth because their body's already in good shape. So that's something we started used to as a sales tool. You know, we just use the fact that using winter stabilizer keeps the vitamins and minerals up in the skeletal system. But now with that information coming from guys, you know, we're using that to spread the word on that and help people out by using it. But yeah, it's you know, we're still having people. It's almost March. We're still having people get their first orders of 20%. But I mean, guys are busy. We got guys that live out of town that can't get to their place, you know, at certain times. But once they start, they'll stay with it.
They're gonna stick with it.
Yeah. Especially when they start after a year or two and they start seeing results of body weights and fat levels going up and antler difference and deer that just stay on your place. You know, deer will travel for protein. I mean, that's been proven. Yeah, that's why it's so important to have, you know, the right amount of feeders and, you know, if you're running spinners and mineral sites and your perennials and your annuals and, you know, sanctuaries and water and all that, just to try to make, you know, a complete package. You know how it works. I mean, y'all do all that, you know. So, very important.
Good tips for sure.
Yep.
Whew. Well, it's been a good, productive day, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
We got a lot done. We got protein out. We got minerals out. We talked about a bunch of good strategy. All in all, a good, productive day.
Yeah, thanks for showing me around the farm. I saw a bunch of it that I hadn't seen before. So we've been all over this place, so I thought.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Man.
Our herd is going to be healthy now.
That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate your time, man. Good to see you.
Man, I enjoyed it.
See you, man.